This is Lady Anne, owner of Keech Radio and hostess of the Caravan Library of Lore, and I support Tessa. As an experiencer myself, I have filed my own reports with them, and the professionalism and heart they have shown my case goes above and beyond. If you have had an experience, I cannot recommend Tessa enough.
Hi, this is Ernie Hudson, Winston's Edmore from Ghostbusters. I want to let you know that Brian Stacy, he's created the Experiencer Support Association, TESA. You can check them out at www.tesacan.org. Now, they investigate paranormal, UFO, and provide support to experiencers. But you can check them out at, like I said, www.tesacan.org and see for yourself if they're really Ghostbusters. I can tell you this, they are a non-profit organization. Good luck, have fun, and keep it busted.
Good evening. You are listening to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, a podcast by the Experiencer Association. Tessa is a UFO, paranormal, and paracryptid investigation association. We investigate everything belonging to the global phenomenon linked to highly strange and unexplained experiences. We also connect experiencers with other experiencers, creating a safe, positive environment to engage and discuss this phenomenon without judgment, criticism, or retribution. From the land of the white rolling sands on the southeasterly tip of Georgian Bay, to all of you listening around the world, as we simulcast live on KBNL Radio, we salute you. If you want to go back and listen to our previous episodes, go to youtube.com/the Experiencer Support Association. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be instantly notified when we are live, not only for these episodes, but every single element Tessa has to offer. On our website, tessacan.org, we have something for everyone. We have support for experiencers, data for independent researchers, and places to advertise for professional partners. Hello, everybody. Today is Thursday, September 23rd, 2021, and I, Ryan Stacy, am your host this evening. I am a licensed private investigator, a citizen journalist, and the director of investigations for the Experiencer Support Association. Timmy, I hear you. Get over here. Welcome. No, never mind. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for joining us this evening. To super chat, click the $ next to your name in the comment box. Remember that all donations go back into the mission. If you're catching this on the replay, please consider becoming a member and unlock bonus content, including behind the scenes and extended footage on new project developments and investigations. Just click the big blue button that says join. So tonight, our guest for season 3, episode 30, is Christopher Keech. Christopher is a former member of MUFON Canada. Over the past 15 years, he has been avidly studying of all aspects related to the UFO and UAP phenomenon, with special interest in the secret space force, moon bases, and activity on the moon. He's interested in exposing the Navy Tr3b Black Triangle secret and other off-the-book secret space projects. He is also a new volunteer for the Experiencer Support Association. And Chris, put on your tinfoil hat. How are you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. Good to see you. Long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, long time, eh? A couple years,
Mhm.
more than a few years, I guess. Yeah,
More than a few, but everything seems to happen for a reason, and we're going to get into that.
yeah.
Before I do, I got to interrupt with an icebreaker, courtesy of Tim, the Demon Guy Morrison. So you guys can find Tim on Twitter at the Demon Guy Canada or Demon Guy Canada, and on Facebook at the Demon Guy. So normally Tim will give me an icebreaker question. I'll see for the first time, puts it up in a nice little piece of paper. He hasn't done that today because we're running on the spot. And I asked him to bring it up to me, but he was a little lazy and decided just to message it to me on Messenger. So I'm going to look at it and read it right now. I know he's watching. So his question is, if you could go back in time and give your parents advice before you were born, what advice would you give them? What kind of question is that?
So that's directed at me, I take it, right?
Well, it's directed at us. It's the icebreaker.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I would say I always was kind of, I think I would talk my father into staying into hockey. He had a really good chance of going pro. He was a little bit small, but he had a chance of teaching over in Germany. And once he met my mother, after he played junior in Windsor, he gave hockey up. So I think I would probably say that. But for the most part, he died a couple years ago of cancer. But for the most part, they had a good marriage, and not much advice I could give them there. They did everything right. They were good parents, but that's the one thing I would probably say.
That's a tough question. I was thinking the entire time what I would go back and say, and I can't think of anything other than thank you for doing that nasty thing I don't want to think about once. So I'm here.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Tim. Tim, the Demon Guy Morrison. Hello to everybody in the chat. Lots of members in here. Moonlight, Chantel, and the Demon Guy, and it would be Chris, but he's sitting here with me right now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I would be there.
I want to spend the first hour talking about your path, that led you up to the time we met, and then where you went off until the time. What brought you back into this direction, and then for the last hour we'll get into all this fun, crazy stuff that you like.
Sure.
And a space program, and we'll split it up that way, because we want the audience to get to know you, and thank you so much for volunteering.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my pleasure, buddy.
Where do we start? Have you had any experiences from the day you were born until when's the first one?
The first one I can remember, I was probably about 5 or 6, and we lived in an old house, just an old 2-bedroom house that my great-grandparents built in Trenton. My great-granddad's Dominic Sapio, he ended up dying in that house.
Oh, wow.
And my mother, I remember her telling us that every night she worked midnights at Quaker Oats, and we would be in bed with the babysitter, they do the swap thing. But anyways, she would hear him coming down the stairs in the middle of the night, somebody coming down the stairs, and she thought it was us. Yeah. But this happened frequently every night, and she would run up. We'd be in bed. So she started, what the hell, putting 2 and 2 together, and finally, I think my granddad or my grandma told her that he had ended up dying in that house. So I had seen some strange, weird things when I was a little kid there. Nothing nefarious, nothing insidious, just, things moving. I was little, and then long span, probably 18 years later, I had a lucid dream, and it felt like I was pinned to the bed, but I was awake. And anybody that experiences that, it's scary. But I did remember seeing a bright light. I don't know if I was dreaming, and other than that, there's not too much to tell other than that, but it felt like I was tied or pinned to the bed. Really hard, couldn't move my body. And I remember I was living out in the country, and there was a bright light outside my window, and that was the first thing and the last time I ever experienced anything like that. I used to experience the Hag when there was dark times in my life. I don't know if anybody knows about that or heard about that.
Do you want to explain what that is to you? There's many versions of that.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I kept having these dreams every night, and it scared the piss out of me. But I dreamt of 3 women or 3 old ladies. They almost look like witches or something like that. But they would bite my sides, like my stomach area, or pinch me or something like that. They'd crawl all over me, and I would wake up and I'd just freak right out. And I was so scared I wouldn't sleep for days because it happened continuously, week after week after week. And I would be so sleep deprived, and then eventually it just went away. I haven't had it since. This was probably about 15 years ago.
Did you? You moved from that location then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that was. Yeah, it was such a scary feeling, but that you want to go to sleep. It's supposed to be peaceful, but when you're scared to go to sleep, it's weird, but anyway,
you sleep for peace, right? You don't, you don't necessarily, you don't want to go to bed and be scared deliberately unless you're something wrong with you. But
So anyway, the internet came out, and I ended up looking it up, and there was actually a show featured on a woman who experienced it in the States, and she ended up moving from place to place to place, and this followed her, this entity or whatever it was, and the name it stuck with it was the Hag, and it can come in different forms. Mine were three old ladies.
Three old ladies.
Yeah. Well, mine were like 3 older ladies, like weird, like wicked looking old ladies. But they can come in the form of anything, I guess, anything that you think of that's in your conscious or.
So when you say they come, how do they come to you? I guess how does that feel?
Well, you're just sleeping. Mm-hmm. You're just sleeping, and then all of a sudden you're just having a nightmare, and not sure if it's anything in the back of your mind, but it seems that people have figured out that it comes when you're at the lowest point in your life. I was out of a job and drinking a lot. My girlfriend and I just broke up, and just like everything happened at once. So I don't know if it was just my mental state that was doing it, anyway, yeah, I ended up looking it up online, and the Hag is what they coined it as, and a lot of people experience it. It comes in different forms, so it's kind of a urban legend cross. It can happen,
Okay. Right, that's okay. It's your experience, right?
Yeah.
So what you mentioned before with the feeling, that sleep paralysis. Have you would you subscribe to that being the reason for it? Or do you think it'd be something else?
No. What?
So sleep paralysis is what the scientists are calling the explanation for that, which kind of negates the fact of it being paranormal. So do you believe this to be an extraterrestrial paranormal type event, or some sort of natural behavior?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I believe it's that's a good question. I think it's just something in your conscious. True. Okay. That's what I think. I think it's just because it would
make sense, right? Because that's how they're communicating, right? They're telepathy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, what about that's UFO? My opinion.
Yeah, no worries. No, it's good. That's good to hear. What about UFOs? Any UFO sightings?
I've had a couple, just lights in the sky, nothing major, but I started getting into it about 15 years ago, I guess. Okay. It just struck me as, I'd sit there in the backyard and I go, geez, it would be an awful waste of space if we were alone in the universe. And people keep saying, there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. There's got to be something out there. So, people are experiencing sightings all the time. There's abduction stories, and it's getting more frequent constantly. People have phones all the time. So it's getting it. We're in a really, really exciting time to be alive right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot.
So you believe that phenomenon is there then?
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Okay. Oh God. Oh yeah.
because that's what eventually led you to MUFON, right?
Yep. Yep.
So when we met, that was meeting you for the first time. So before we get to that, why don't you tell me, what got you interested in MUFON, and how got you to that moment right there?
Well, I would wake up in mornings, and before I would go to work, what I usually do is I check out the UFO sightings and politics.
A deadly combination.
I know, eh? Yeah, the stress level is just.
You should join Twitter.
Yeah, well, no, I've been kicked off Twitter a few times for having the wrong opinion, right? So.
I'll defend you.
Yeah, and then I just, I think I was transitioning through work at the time. And I was on the internet constantly, just, diving into rabbit hole after rabbit hole. And then but I always knew MUFON existed, obviously. And then I came across MUFON Canada, and I got a hold of Saint James, the old director there. Anyways, before Dave Palachuk.
Mark St. Germain.
Mark St. Germain.
Well, you're in Ontario, so actually it would have been Stu Bundy.
Okay, well, it was Mark St. Germain that was contacting. We were back and forth.
Yeah, he would have been national director then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And he said, well, yeah, why don't you come along and become a member? And I was going to go for my field and investigator course. Didn't follow through, but that's right around the time we met. You were helping me out. I was going to do, I was a member for a little while, and I thought, well, the U.S. has all these videos and podcasts and movies and everything. And Canada, we're kind of, the website's kind of just stagnant. It just stays still. So I said, well, let's do a presentation. Let's start doing podcasts. Let's start doing videos. Get a YouTube channel going. And that's when I contacted you. You and me were back and forth, and you drove a long ways to do. You helped me out with my presentation and all that, and we got through good, and that's how we met. Yeah.
So I'll help you out there. So as the director, Ontario director, it was my responsibility to show up and to make sure that this chapter meeting was being run, and Chris took the time to fill the room. I don't want to say the area but it unless you want to say it, but it also happens to be in an area where I have some family too. So I invited quite a bit of people there as well.
Yeah.
And we had that was, for you guys listening, that would have been my last presentation in public with MUFON.
Yeah.
Because I went there to help Chris, and Dave Palachuk was there, and Chris did an amazing presentation, and he did some serious research on the MUFON organization, and he did a really good job presenting that. And then Dave chimed in because he asked for 5 minutes after I drove like 4 hours to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember how much time Dave gave me to speak?
Yeah, it was like under 10 minutes, I think.
Wait, he didn't even let me speak. No, I had like 5 minutes at the end.
5 minutes, yeah. Right at the end that's right.
Yeah, so and that was because Mark St. Germain had sent Dave Palachuk to check on me to make sure I wasn't promoting Tessa at a MUFON meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I remember me and you went to Tim Hortons afterwards, and we had a little talk, and you were, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
We had a talk because I got you there, and I was letting you know that I was leaving MUFON before they knew, and that's because the agreement we had with you with that event is that you were going to pocket any of the money that you had made for putting up that event. Mm-hmm. But Dave Palachuk said you had to give the money to MUFON. Remember?
Yeah, which I rightfully agreed. He let me keep the money to pay for the room at the library, and I donated the money to MUFON, which is fine. Yeah, but
which went nowhere back to where it was supposed to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So from there, I basically told you, hey, good luck, and I'm leaving. So I left. Yeah. What did you stayed with them though? So I'm curious to know what you were doing this entire time before you come back here, because I left. That was my journey. That was at the end of my rope. And I said, good luck,
Yeah.
and it was a good talk.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And then, but you stayed. So what did you do?
So
How was that?
This past May would have been my membership would have expired, and I didn't renew my membership. For a couple years after that, I was pounding away at Dave. He took over national director. Let's get a YouTube channel. Let's start doing podcasts. Let's get the word out there. Get some membership going. He would get back to me. Yeah, well, we're working on it. We're working on it. I wanted to develop an app at it. Volunteer all my time, all my resources, my money. I didn't care. Let's just, get an app going for iOS, Android.
You know how to do that?
I have friends that do that. Yeah. I'm pretty handy with computers. And developing.
I'm making your job description as we go through this show.
My resume grows, doesn't it? Right. And then we, me and Dave Palachuk had a few emails back and forth for a couple of months about getting a podcast going. And he said, MUFON's thinking about it. We'll let you know. And the next thing I know, he's got a channel, he's up doing the podcast. And the guy's got the personality that, this pop can't hear really. It's not doing very good. He so he doesn't have very interesting guests on. So other than that, it's,
sorry, do they have a they have a podcast?
They do.
Right
yeah. Can you believe that? Yeah.
I haven't even seen it. Who's marketing it? Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah. That's probably how well it's going though anyway, right?
Well, the thing is, it's tough. It's very tough to do all these things. It's very challenging to work a full-time job. And it is work, even though it's a volunteer organization. And a lot of people have dedicated a lot of their time and resources towards the mission. So getting the membership out, all those things, those are great. And obviously a lot of us know the enthusiasm that was behind that, but you had that drive. So what was it about MUFON that you liked so much that you were willing to put that, to bring people in? Because it obviously wasn't the Dave Palachuk or the MUFON chapter that you were in, but there's still something about you that you wanted more people to know about it. So let's talk about the good. Well, what's that?
Yeah, I think it's just because MUFON's been around so long, and MUFON's like the go-to for UFOs. Being part of the organization, I thought that that was something. It was cool. I'm starting to do something, getting involved in something. I wrote it out for 3 years, 4 years, whatever it was. And then when I seen that it was all I was paying for and donating my time for was I was getting a newsletter once a week. I wasn't contacting anybody. There was nothing happening. So that's when I decided to not renew my membership. But to me, first, the reason why I got involved with MUFON was because it was, it was name. I thought it was kind of cool to be involved with MUFON.
So did I.
Other than that, the novelty wore off pretty quick, and that's about it.
So I went off and created Tessa and all that fun jazz while you were doing that. Then how did you find us again out of nowhere? Because we weren't in touch at all.
No,
I didn't give you a number. I got deleted. Like you couldn't even get a hold of me anymore because they got rid of everything.
No, it's kind of a funny story. The way we crossed paths twice, I was on Instagram and I came across your profile, I guess. And we got in touch, and I can't remember which one messaged each other, but we ended up saying, hey, this is, I think it was me. And I said, hey, do you remember me from MUFON? And you responded, and you said, well, I'm doing this now. Do you want to, if you have any experiences, throw it over there. You want to volunteer. So it was kind of serendipitous again. It happened, and here I am.
Meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Meant to be.
So I led you to Tessa.
Yep.
And what did you think of Tessa in comparison to MUFON, and why is it that you think that it's going to be any different than MUFON when you know that my roots?
Well, you
Be
seem
honest,
to,
because there's
okay,
many
yeah,
people want to
you were,
volunteer, and
yeah.
you went through the process, and you're here. I'm
Well,
curious to know.
yeah, I took a
You
shot
know,
with you, Ryan, and you know
yeah.
what? You seem to be so motivated, so dedicated. Like you just put in so much time, and I thought I'm gonna, we'll check it out, we'll try. And then I talked with Chantel, and everything just kind of just rolled together. And it doesn't cost $300 to become a field investigator. You don't have to donate anything. You donate your time. If you're passionate about it, that's great. So yeah, it's and you're always in contact. You're never leaving anybody hanging. It seems like it's just you guys are really supportive. You get friends.
I'm glad you said you guys, because I was going to mention that this
No,
team. This team.
Yeah, it's a group effort. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And now you're part of that team. So how do you feel? How does it feel to be a part of Tessa versus MUFON?
Well, because it's such a young organization, it's quite an honor to be part of the pilot program of volunteers, so to speak. I guess
that's exactly what it is. You would be the part of the first wave of volunteers. Yeah,
exactly.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and get the word out there, and who knows, we could be bigger than MUFON. Yeah.
Well, the goal isn't to be bigger
Not
than
big,
anyone.
but yeah,
The
just
goal
better.
is to be where everybody is and available to anyone who needs what we're doing that is missing from these communities.
Yeah,
right?
more supportive.
Comments in here saying that from Chantel, I'm happy Chris found us. Long process. Moonlight says virtual hug, and then Tim the Demon Guy says welcome Christopher to Tessa.
Nice.
So we got the entire team here watching as well, and I do on behalf of the organization. Thank you so much, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
So now that you're here, and we'll just wrap this one part up, and then we'll get into all the fun stuff. Is what do you want to do with Tessa? What do the people want to? What are the people going to see? Where's your drive now? And this is your first time ever doing this, so don't worry. We know you're nervous. It's okay.
Well, yeah, I'm comfortable because I know everybody. But obviously, I work during the day, and I come home and I dedicate my time. I'm the type of person that's got to stay busy because I have bad habits. I like to stay busy with research, same as you. If there's anything I can do to help, it makes me feel better, useful to help out with an organization, I guess. That's why I jumped at the opportunity to help you out, with this. Dedicate anything you need down this way. If you need anything, I'm willing to.
You talked about podcasting, right? So you have an interest in podcasts. So tell me a little bit more about your ideas for podcasting, because that,
Oh, don't do this to me.
No?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'd
help out any way I can, buddy.
No, it's all good. All right. So with that, I just wanted to get that out there for everybody here. This is Chris's first time, and I wanted everybody to get to understand who the guy is before we bring him on. He is a new volunteer, and if you guys are watching this, please, welcome him into the family. So now let's get into some weird stuff. Like, what do you want to talk? What are you knowledgeable about? This is my cat, Hogan Drinks. Way here.
Yeah.
Okay,
I got a couple of them running around here somewhere too.
So where do you want to drive this bus? Where do you want to go?
Well, it was interesting. Last night before the podcast, I was sitting there and a video came on about new revelations about this black triangle everybody's seeing. You remember when I brought that up at our
well, that was part of your presentation there too, right? Yeah.
Not too many people knew what it was. There's a patent online about it. The Navy put out. It's been out there a couple of years.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, just put in Tr3b patent. I got it pulled up right here. It's pretty interesting. Not too much to it. It doesn't look like it's very sophisticated, but I don't know. That's the way they make it look, anyways. This thing's anti-gravity. Looks like it can go from air to space. It's got some kind of weird gravity amplifiers on it, but it's also got the gravitational field around it. So when you see it flying, you can see little specks hitting this gravity field, bouncing off little sparks around this thing. I think personally, in my opinion, it's been around since the 90s. It's old tech. It's been around for a while.
So what is
hasn't
what,
been.
so this is just to help everybody out and to help you
Yeah,
out
there.
so you can
Yeah,
see what you're
there it
looking
is.
at.
Yeah,
So
there it is right there.
this pattern is a triangular spacecraft with an actual design from the United States government.
Yeah, that middle part looks. Yeah, that middle part right there, that round bubble. Yeah, that's the anti-gravity. The little the little circles right on the corners there. They seem to be the, from what I gather when I read, they're the amplifiers. This thing's pretty cool. It's seen a lot more every day around, so they're not hiding this thing anymore by the looks of it.
Have you seen any of them?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. There's been a few in Ontario where I am, but I haven't seen it personally, no.
So it's interesting. It says that in Ontario. Whereabouts in Ontario?
I think it was seen in Barrie, Northern Ontario, and it's been seen in Quebec.
Do you remember that
too.
was one of the MUFON cases I had because of the three lights.
That's right.
3 lights, right? Remember
That's
that
right.
case? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So in my investigative report, I wasn't sure if it was this one, because we haven't really confirmed if Canada has a patent for it or shared patent, because we're thinking, this is a United States patent, right? But why not? Why not have that technology as well? And of course, we understand the relationship between Canada and the United States, and we've just recently learned how our Canadian government just punts off UFO cases to a science fiction writer. So we clearly have that was a left hook, by the way. We clearly have a misunderstanding of what everything else is going on. So as an experiencer, for you guys in the audience and on the replay, it'd be interesting if you've seen anything that looks like that, and your thoughts on maybe these orbs that you're seeing are these lights minus seeing the black craft, the black triangle.
Yeah, because we all know that when these anti-gravity craft that we see flying around, they create this ball of light. Looks like especially at nighttime we can see them, right? So go ahead. Well, it seems to be a little bit different than the Tic Tacs and the other craft that we've seen that Bob Lazar talks about, that they reverse engineered at area, S4 or whatever. Is
it so strange for people to take technology and reverse engineer it and learn how to use it?
I think as humans, we're interested. I think it's strange, but it's as long as it's done right and responsible, I think that's going to help us in the long run.
Where do you think they would get that? Where do you think they got this from? Where do you think they got the idea from?
For this thing?
Yeah.
I think it was, I have two theories. I think it was from an old archaeological dig, or it was taken from World War II during Project Paperclip.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah. Project Paperclip.
That's,
so for us Canadians, I did recently learn that there was a similar project as well called Project Matchbook. And Project Matchbook is, we did the same. Canada actually had taken some German scientists as well, not just the United States. There's a lot going on in Canada that they did mirrored to the United States. So with that, do you think that these crafts are German engineered perhaps and reverse engineered from that?
I think there's a good chance. I think they've had this for 70 years, and every couple of years they'll shelve something and they'll wait for technology and science to catch up. And in the 90s, I think they finally had enough knowledge of what to do with this thing and perfected it. And over the years, it's been once in a while you'll see this black triangle. You got to be careful on the internet because there's a lot of fakes out there. 95% of UFO sightings are faked on the internet. But I mean, this thing is obviously seen. They weren't sure if it was from UFO origins, but clearly the New York Times did a story back in 2018, Ryan, if you probably remember, and it was right before my presentation. I kind of got lucky, and it was that the military and the Pentagon is in possession of an off-world vehicle. That has to do with a lot of the stuff we're talking about now. That pretty much just proves everything we're talking about, and that's when it started becoming mainstream. And people like us that were so passionate about UFOs and that we're seeing them in the real, people started going, well, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe it's not so hard to believe. These things are seen every day because everybody's got a camera on them. Everybody's recording something. There's so much social media. But it almost looks like the secret Space Force or whoever's flying. I don't believe they're alien origin. I think they're the military. Definitely the military.
Is it still secret if we know about it now?
Yeah, well, I guess it's secret until they
we
come
do
out
have a Space Force now. We do have a space program in the United States.
Yeah.
Not a secret
they haven't
anymore.
really officially came out and named anything, have they? Not that I know of, anyways. It's kind of like a...
Well, they've renamed every Air Force. I think most of the Air Forces in the United States.
Yeah.
They've also released a uniform that looks very similar to Battlestar Galactica.
It is official. Yes, it is a sixth branch of the military, but we haven't seen anything that they're going to do. Yeah.
So they're getting inspired by Hollywood by the looks of it. But does that actually mean that this stuff is true? So, like you said, extraterrestrial. So, like, is this man? Did this come from man? Like German technology, and then all of a sudden, the United States Canada reverse engineered it and made it better, or did it come from somewhere else? What do you think?
Personally, I believe it's been reverse engineered. If you look at the history of the United States, they're always kind of staying in this triangular pattern, or they're playing the Blackbird, the stealth,
aerodynamic.
So to me, if you see this thing, I've had a pretty good shot of it. I've seen a pretty good picture of it from the top of it, and it almost looks like a stealth bomber. And it's not as big as you think either. It's piloted by two people that I think, anyways. And it came from German technology from World War II.
So where did so then we fast forward a bunch of years, and now all of a sudden, we're testing that, and we got it all over the place, and people are seeing it. These black triangles are a Canadian phenomenon. Like, I mean, we also have a little bit, most of it in the States too, but like the States right now, a Tic Tac is kind of like their thing. But so
I don't know
with this. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, buddy. I was just saying, I don't think there's been any sightings of the Tic Tac over Canada, but these things, these black triangles, I think they fly so high. They fly so high that they cross over the border. We see them on southern Ontario, southern Manitoba, southern Quebec.
Right. So how do you think? So how do you think that's possible? How do you think that these types of crafts are able to fly across the border into our airspace without anyone, governments being alarmed about it? Well, how do you think that happened?
I think because the U.S. has, I mean, what's Canada going to do, really, to the States? I think there's a treaty going on. Obviously, some kind of a space treaty. There's got to be something.
We are under a treaty, with the Five Eyes. So that
the Five Eyes intelligence. I think they can just, this secret budget program that these the deep military does with these black triangles, they can pretty much just fly wherever they want. They don't have to worry about airspace, anything like that. So, in my opinion, anyway.
So why keep it a secret?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They hide things in plain sight. They always have, haven't they? They've always kind of just give us little drip knowledge of things just to keep us kind of questioning everything.
How do we know they're giving it to us and people aren't just retrieving it or posting it or even making it up for that matter? How do we know that it's actually coming from a credible government source?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of whistleblowers coming out lately, but we got to question their credibility too. That's the thing with being in the UFO community. You gotta use judgment. A lot of the time, what I usually do is I'll go around. If I see something interesting, I'll check and see if anybody else seen it from different angles. Because Photoshop's out now. We all know how people fake things. And I've been had a couple of times. I thought there was a real video and it turned out to be fake. So, like they say, rule of thumb, 95% of the things on the internet to do with the UFO community is usually fake. But as far as I can see, this thing is absolutely real. I think it's nothing compared to the Tic Tac UFO that we're seeing now. I think that's Russian.
Would be a lot younger too, like it's older, so they would have more chances to evolve. Because remember, this is a patent, right? So the website shows right here that the patent was in 2004. Application was filed by a St. Clair John Q. And I remember people were trying to say that this guy was incredible. They can't find him, they can't locate him, and all these other things. So have you been able to locate John St. Clair?
No. Yeah, it might be an alias. Who knows, right?
It could be. Very well could be.
Yeah, that's what I'm
priority
saying.
to USA publication, all that stuff. But then it says status abandoned. So why do you think it says abandoned, but yet we're seeing it all? Are you sure that what we're seeing is the same thing, or what would be the explanation for that?
I think this is the predecessor to it. I think this is a patent, and over the past couple of years, they've evolved it into something that's amazing. They seem to be able to go from airspace right to space without any different configuration. It's anti-gravity. The maneuverability, it can hover with no sound. It's nothing like we've ever seen before, I
think we have seen it. I think we've seen these lights. We just haven't seen the craft itself.
Well, yeah, like
what
I mean is like compared to any aircraft that's mainstream anyways, that's what I mean. Like we haven't seen anything that's conventional like this anyways, but it's pretty amazing technology if you think about it. And if you go through the patent, it's not exactly complicated by the sounds of it.
No, it says right here, this invention is a spacecraft having a triangular hull with vertical electrostatic line charges on each corner. The line charges create a horizontal electric field that, together with a plane wave emitted by antennas on the side of the hull, generates a force per volume, providing a unique combination of both lift and propulsion.
Yeah.
So the science exists to be able to do that.
Yeah, the physics exists. Yeah.
Exactly. So why hasn't anyone in the private sector done this?
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe it was just like the guy who invented the electric car or the water-powered car years ago, and the government came and put the kibosh on that so they could make money. Could be oil, could be gas, could be
It could also be control, right? Great power comes great responsibility. The same way, police, cars here in Canada can have any engines that go over 240 kilometers, and that's just because the police officers have to be able to catch you if you're speeding.
Yeah, that's right.
So great. That's an example of that. So the Germans had it. I'm just tracking what you're saying, and I'm just spitballing off of it too. And I got to actually say a question that just popped up, but so the Germans had it. And then then Operation Paperclip happens, which is when the war was over, and everybody and Matchbook, where Canada and the United States gave the German scientists and soldiers, engineers, the opportunity to either go to jail or to work for work as citizens, North American citizens, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And they bring this technology over. Mm-hmm. And then they're keeping it quiet, and then everybody's seeing it. And then now the government is talking about it and looking into it. So do you think the government is actually going to investigate this phenomenon, or they're just covering everything up? And then I'll get to Chantel's question after.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely think they're covering it up. I definitely think. we all know the secrets, black budget, off the books programs. It has no oversight. They do what they want. And you got to kind of question, why is a superpower like the United States $28 trillion in debt? It's because they spend so much money on these black projects, off the books. There's no oversight. They don't have to answer to anybody.
Well,
But
what
if you go to the bottom of the
ahead.
page on these patents, there's lists and lists and lists of secret weapons, cyclones, wave modulators, everything that they've developed.
So we got a
they put
method
out
by
there, but-
means of creating artificial gravity in spacecraft, protective enclosure apparatus for magnetic propulsion space vehicle, electric dipole moment propulsion system, rotating electrostatic propulsion system, method and apparatus of converting electrostatic potential energy, and electric dipole spacecraft. So these are all patents that were cited that already exist that can be used to create this.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but it's abandoned, or is it really abandoned?
Yeah. Well, that's what they want us to think. I that's what I think, anyways. Yeah. Yeah. You never can trust the government.
You can. You just can't trust them with everything. We can't trust them with handing UFO reports over to researchers in Canada.
Yeah.
But we can't trust them with that. But
yeah.
sorry,
well,
that's
not everybody. And I shouldn't say the government, because that's a broad range. But the people in control, the shadow government, these people that pull the strings.
So we'll talk about those people in a second. So Chantel asks, Chris, do these triangles have superior stealth capabilities? Potentially, can it evade radar?
So they say, yeah. If they have stealth in the B-52 and everything else like that, the Black Hawk helicopters have that stealth technology. I'm sure, pretty much 99% sure these things do. Yeah.
Did you know that Canada is the creator of an invisibility cloak or invisibility technology? Did you know that?
Canada is? No, I didn't know that.
Yes. Well, I'll see if I can find it.
That's wicked, really.
Yeah. So when we get in, I'll bring that up too. Invisibility. But my question, I guess, about the people who are in control of the shadow government, who do you speculate that might be?
Names? Well, it's hard to say. I mean, everybody knows, these secret societies, the guys that run the Freemasons, whatever. Who knows? But I think it's a lot of the lobbyists, the bankers who pull the strings. They lobby these guys. They get them on the take, pass laws what they want. They keep things quiet, whatever they want. So those guys truly are, or there's deep military generals. There's a deep state that exists in the States. Obviously, we know that. Anybody who doesn't think
it would make sense. Something, some sort of body must be organizing a higher level of decisions. Freemasons in general, there are a whole bunch of individuals from different types of professions,
organizations.
Exactly. So I wouldn't agree that Freemasons are fully responsible on that part, but perhaps some people are Freemasons that are in that higher up making decisions. Now, if Freemasons are involved, are you, in your opinion, would they be making positive choices for the world or negative? Because they have that power. What do you think they're doing?
They do. I think maybe some of them have nefarious reasons to make money, and others have reasons that are for the better of mankind, but we don't see the whole picture. But for the most part, I think they're just after control from what I gather. I mean, you don't see any of these organizations building communities or helping out. You see them getting rich a lot, but you don't ever see them
So
or ever hear them.
the Freemasons are actually, just so you know, the Canadian Red Cross is an organization created by Freemasons.
Yeah.
6 kids,
Shriners.
hospitals, Shriners, yeah,
Shriners,
Masons, they do. So blood clinics, they do a lot of things. So just because you don't, the secrecy is that they don't reveal what group they're a part of, because it's not the point.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's hard to say, right?
Well, I get it. That's just what I'm trying to see is it almost seems impossible for someone who does very, very good things to be part of a shadow government doing very bad things.
Yeah.
So it must. So it's got to be something else, not the Freemasons.
It's got to be. Yeah. We're spitballing. Who knows? It could be, military guys, CIA, FBI.
It's okay. I'm a Freemason. That's why I did that.
Yeah. Well, that's just the urban legend out there. Like it's the Illuminati or Freemasons or anything like that. But yeah, like it's got to be like guys or people that are entrenched in certain corporations, certain military, CIA, FBI. Who knows? They all get together, whatever they do. I don't know. That's why they're called the shadow government, right? Because we don't know. We probably won't ever know.
Can the shadow government not still be the same government? It's the assumption that there's another government in another level, because we feel like the ones that want to do all these things aren't able to do that, and other people are telling them what to do, which we have Congress and all that other stuff too. Maybe is so it's all that other part. So just before we continue that thought, I just want to show you right here. A Canadian company has created an incredible invisibility shield. So this is Canadian tech.
Oh yeah.
And the Canadian government Army uses this type of shield technology, it exists. So if Canada has that, right? Canada is a Canadian invention, so we're very proud as Canadians to have that patent. But that could be another patent that's used to build another type of craft. So the technology exists. So my question is the why. Why do we have this, and what would it be used for? What do you think?
Well, obviously, it would probably give us a huge advantage in war. If they could
war against whom?
Well, there's always war is the core of society, so they say, right? I mean, if they can figure out how to tailor something like that, make uniforms, or make it a little stronger, make it into cover tanks with it, it would give anybody a huge, huge advantage, right?
So this is what we know about. This patent came out in 2004. We know that this is confirmed fact, right? So 2004, that's it's 17 years ago, roughly, if my math is correct. How far advanced has your cell phone evolved in the last 17 years?
Exactly. It goes from like the Android 1 to
we have record 11, of the 12, patent of the first cell phone, but we don't need to go and patent every version of it, right?
No, exactly.
So it's very probable that this does exist.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Now, pilot, how do you think it's controlled? Some report that it's small, not small enough to fit a human in sometimes. What do you think the explanation for that would be?
Well, from the pictures I've seen, I've seen a cockpit. It's not as big as the stealth plane. Maybe a little bit smaller, but I don't think it's remote. Do you? Remotely piloted?
Well, it could be. Why couldn't it be?
It could be.
We have that technology today.
Yeah, we got drone technology.
Remote viewing, secret, MK Ultra, which also we had camps here in Canada too. Actually, actually in my hometown, there is the old psych ward up on which is now called Waypoint. Used to be Oak Ridge. It was involved in psychological warfare, so like experimental testing. So Canada has it too. So, and what they wanted to do is they wanted to develop the ability to in order to manipulate the space and time. So the technology exists.
Yeah.
And that's from the humans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where, and I'm just wrapping this up because we're getting into the commercial soon, but my question, what I'm leading to is where do aliens fit into all of this? Or is that something completely different? Are these UFOs just government and aliens and something else? What do you think?
I think this is us. I think this is the military. Aliens come in completely.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Completely different. I think.
Tim commented on the visibility cloak. He says invisibility, eh? And he asked if it could be a drone, and we touched on that. And Chantel had said I was going to say drones for rich people, which is kind of funny. And then let me see the other comments that I saw here. I'll just say hello to everybody before we go to commercial break. Hello, Priscilla. I see you. Hello, 416 Bitcoin. Are you watching or are you selling? What are you doing? Trading. UFO man, how you doing? Let me see. Tim says you're hired. I saw that come in when you said you're good at computers because you know.
Oh yeah.
You know that we need another guy like that. Mm-hmm. Moonlight, what are you saying? As long as the deer and Sasquatch can't see, it's all good. Am I allowed to say MUFON vacuums?
MUFON vacuums. MUFON vacuums.
You can say get your MUFON. That was something I used to say. Is get your MUFON. Because it's kind of funny making fun of that is because there's one time we were sitting at a table and this waitress had come up and saw all of us wearing the MUFON brand, and she says, reads it and asks us, what's muffin? And we all took offense to it. Yeah. We were like MUFON. So I created this shirt, and I think Dan Jones, if you're still listening or you get this on the replay, I think there's a picture of you wearing that shirt at the Alien Cosmic Expo, but it's got a cow being lifted up by a UFO in a Canadian setting, and it says "Get your MUFON." So the whole point was so you saw the cow to understand that it was moo, not
That's pretty clever.
Or MUFON. Some people say MUFON. But anyways, plug. Not sponsored. Endorsement from Mutual UFO Network. So everyone's laughing here. Okay. So, do you believe in aliens?
I do. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. You got someone behind you.
Hey, yeah. She just got her vaccine today. She's not feeling too good, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Hello.
So.
All right. So what we're going to do then is I think we'll just head to commercial break, and then we'll dive deep into I don't know. What do you think? Secret space program? You want to do that?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Not really on the agenda today. We're not really doing anything scripted. We're just having a good conversation. We're meeting Chris for the first time, and welcoming him to the Tessa family. So, we're just having a general conversation. Yeah. And I'm enjoying that, and it's good to see you. How are you doing?
Yeah. Good. It's good to see you again.
All right. So let's pause right here, but we will continue after a message from our professional partners. Also, if you're listening to this live on KPNL Radio or on a future podcast, head over to youtube.com/the Experiencer Support Association to see the videos that go with this audio. Remember, you are listening to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, a podcast by the Experiencer Support Association, and we will be right back.
Ryan is one of Canada's leading new UFO investigators. He conducts and oversees UFO investigations on a constant basis and was really taken by his research. He's compiled a tremendous amount of data regarding UFOs in Canada. And just as interesting, he really goes over how UFO investigations are done and what are some of the mistakes that people make when they submit evidence. Note for starters, don't edit your videos or photos before you send them. If you want to hear more follow-up conversation between Ryan and myself, you can go to richardolanmembers.com, where we have a candid conversation on ufology, the paranormal, and more. And remember, while we learn and grow and search for the truth, let's be good to each other.
same thing that draws aliens to our planet is the same thing that draws us to others. Exploration, curiosity, sustainability of life. That's why we go. It would make sense as to why they're visiting here.